Hello Motor World fans, and welcome to this episode of Paddock Talk, where we're going to have a look at the MotoGP and the World Superbike paddocks and the movers and shakers in terms of riders and teams, who's doing what going forward. We're going to start off with the MotoGP paddock, and of course a couple of weeks ago now, the news that we were all kind of expecting, and it's no real surprise. Alex Rins will be leaving LCR Honda and joining the Monster Energy Yamaha factory team alongside Fabio Quartararo for the 2024 season. Now, personally, I think it's a great move for both Yamaha and Rins. Rins was never really that happy at LCR, picked up that brilliant win at Kota, but didn't feel like he was getting the support that he wanted from Honda. Even Ken Kawauchi, of course, went from Suzuki over to Honda. Rins kind of rubbing his hands at this, thinking, well, we worked so well at Suzuki. He'll definitely be in my corner, and it just didn't turn out that way. Honda can be very weird. I think it's a good word to use when it comes to listening to riders and rider support. It's very much Honda's way or nowhere, and that's something they're going to have to break going forward, because clearly not working. But anyway, they've lost Alex Rins. He will be jumping ship to the Yamaha team. For Yamaha, I think it's a fantastic signing. I think they needed it. Franco Morbidelli is on his way out. We'll chat about him in a second. But it just opens the door for Alex Rins to move into that slot. He's a Monster Energy sponsored rider, so it fits in perfectly. But he'll just bring a fresh approach to the Yamaha team that is been out of ideas for a long time now. Fabio Quartararo and Franco Morbidelli, who have been in the Yamaha team now for the last couple of years, only know Yamaha in the MotoGP paddock. So they just don't know how to fix it, because they don't know what a Ducati or Honda or anything else feels like. Rins bring a lot of that Suzuki information that he had, a little bit of the Honda information that he had, hopefully not the one that broke his legs in 16 million places, but there's no doubt it'll bring a fresh approach that is very much needed into that struggling Yamaha outfit. So I think that's going to be a good relationship. Let's wait and see. I think from Fabio Quartararo's side as well, he needs a more motivated teammate. He's had Franco Morbidelli alongside him for so long, who's been demotivated, and Fabio's been the blue-eyed boy. Fabio needs a rider in the box next to him to be pushing him, rather than saying, we need to find solutions. And, Franco Morbidelli hasn't been there the last couple of years. With Alex Rins, he's going to come there, he's going to want to impress, and that's just going to help the whole team push Fabio Quartararo as well, and hopefully push the project forward. Another big announcement coming out of the recent Red Bull Ring in Austria is Johan Zarco has left Pramac Ducati, or will be leaving Pramac Ducati, I should say, for the 2024 season, and he will be filling that spot vacated by Alex Rins in the LCR Honda team. Now, this is very much a head scratcher, there's no doubt about it, because why would you want to give up a factory Ducati, or any Ducati for that matter, in MotoGP, whether it's full factory or not? Marco Bezzecchi for a good reason, showing that you don't need a factory motorcycle there, to go to a struggling Honda project. Well, a couple of reasons for this. Zarco, as much as we love him and he's brilliant, he just hasn't really, taken his performance to that next level. Hasn't won a MotoGP race yet. Yes, he has puts a couple of really great rides in a row together, but then also at the same time puts a couple of not so decent rides together. So it's just a little bit of inconsistency with Zarco. We know the speed of the man. We know how good he can be. Just hasn't showed it, on a more consistent level. So Ducati, I don't think we're quite happy to let him go. They wanted to keep him in a test rider role, from what I hear. Also put him potentially into World Superbikes. I thought that was going to be a good option for Zarco, to be honest, and rumblings from the paddock sounded like that was going to be a good option. But it seems as if Zarco has gone to the Honda project, which in a couple of ways I think will be a good move for him, and I'll get onto that now. But it's a big paycheck. He's going to be paid big money from LCR, or from Honda, I should say, to go on a factory bike in that LCR team. Now, it's good for Zarco in terms of, getting into the latter stages of his career. Milk it while you can. If they want to offer you good money, take the money for the last couple of years and then get into a test rider role or something. For Honda, it's brilliant because they need a proper good test rider. And I'm not saying Nakagami and Stefan Bradl aren't, but I think certainly Bradl has run his course as a test rider, because everything that Honda seems to put out and Bradl seems to give the okay to doesn't really make any kind of difference. With Zarco, again, just a fresh approach. He's got, experience on a Ducati. He's got experience on a Yamaha in Tech 3 days. He's a little bit of experience with KTM. He's got a lot of information that he can pass on to the Honda technicians, and potentially set himself up as a test rider role within Honda. And as I said, I think Honda need to grasp this, because one thing that they have failed miserably at is their test rider development. They had Marc Marquez, they were winning everything. I don't think they focused or put enough attention on their test rider package. They kind of just seemed to let it go. Marc's winning, it's okay, the bike's good. Not really understanding that it was more Marc winning and your bike was just a failure, but he was just getting away with a lot of stuff. Now that everyone has taken the leap forward, Honda are being left behind. So good move for Zarco. I don't know. It's going to be a struggle. There's no doubt about it. Look where Honda and LCR are. There's no hiding the fact that they're struggling at the moment. But for Zarco, good money. Go there. Try not hurt himself too badly. We know that the Honda is a widowmaker in many ways at this stage of its MotoGP lifespan. So he's got to take time. He's got to be in the reality that he's going to go to Honda. He's not going to LCR Honda to try and win championships or even potentially races. He's going there to get a good paycheck and help give back or help the Honda project progress. That's really the move that's going on there. So those are the two big movers and shakers that are 100% confirmed. Of course, Zarco leaving the Pramac team has opened up a spot in the Pramac Ducati squad for a factory Ducati seat there. Remember, Pramac get the other two factory spots. Martin is definitely staying. The second spot, who will it go to? Well, they've offered it to Marco Bezzecchi. We know what a phenomenal season he's had, but it looks like, and I think it's the right move for Bezzecchi, he will be staying put in that VR46 Academy team with Rossi, with all of his team that he's grown up racing with. He feels very comfortable there, and why not stay there? Maybe a little bit more support coming from Ducati. Certainly not a full factory Ducati ride as he was promised with Pramac Ducati. But again, sometimes a team and how it operates is more effective than having a factory bike. And Marco Bezzecchi fits perfectly into that VR46 Academy team. So I think the announcement will be coming soon that he'll stay there. Rossi has come out and said, we want to keep him. Morbidelli potentially to Pramac. So let's see how that works out. Either way, if Bezzecchi went to Pramac and Morbidelli into VR46, it was a win-win situation for Rossi, for VR46, for Bezzecchi, for everyone. But with Bezzecchi looking like he's going to stay at VR46, that opens the door now for Frankie Morbidelli to climb onto a factory Ducati in Pramac Ducati racing. That will just be the ultimate deal for Morbidelli. If you had said offered that deal to Morbidelli at the start of the year, with the struggles that he was going through the last couple of years with his injury and everything, he would have taken it. And it looks like that could become a reality now, especially with Rossi pushing it and being the driving force behind it. Ducati, Chibati have come out and said, we like Morbidelli, we'd love to see him on a Ducati. So all things look like they are aligning to that move happening. And I think if you look what Alex Marquez has done climbing onto a Ducati, there's no reason why Franco Morbidelli on a full factory Ducati in that Pramac team that wins races, challenges for world titles, it's a proper factory team, let's be honest. Frankie Morbidelli could just revive his MotoGP career. The Cressini Ducati spot is effectively one of the only big talking points still left in the musical chairs that's going on in MotoGP. It looked like it was going to be Tony Arbolino. It then shifted to Frankie Morbidelli. There was talks of Marc Marquez and these riders. DJ Antonio, we know, is out. Potentially coming into that role now is Jake Dixon. We know the Brits are desperate for a British rider in MotoGP since Cal Crutchlow had left a couple of years ago. Dixon, a couple of great performances in Moto2, picked up his first win this season. Consistently looks like he's a front runner in Moto2. Despite what happened at Silverstone with the comments made against Darren Binder and stuff, I think Jake Dixon has something there. He had that wildcard ride on the Petronas Yamaha a couple of years ago. I think he did an okay job. I think his stature, his riding style could climb onto a MotoGP bike and do well. You look at the likes of Bezzecchi and that, he won Moto2 races and he was competitive, but he was never really, I certainly didn't think he was going to be the MotoGP rider that he is today. There's no reason why Jake Dixon couldn't climb on that Cressini Ducati and put in some really good performances. So Dixon, no doubt there will be money coming along with him to take that ride because it's a great ride. We know the riders that have been in that team perform. It's a Ducati, which is ultimately what you want. So let's see, will we finally see a Brit in the MotoGP paddock with Jake Dixon? Let's wait and see. Let's shift our focus over now to the World Superbike. Or before we get there, Pedro Acosta, another big question mark. We know there's this huge headbutt match now at the moment between KTM and Dorna. KTM saying, we're not going to let you give concessions to Honda and Yamaha because you're not kind of helping us to create another team to accommodate Acosta and potentially Marc Marquez to move. And that seems to have, Dorna have put their foot down and said, you are not getting another team. They've requested just for a fifth bike, so maybe Aki Ayo team for Pedro Acosta. Dorna have kind of clamped that down. So now Pedro Acosta is definitely coming to MotoGP, and he's definitely coming to KTM. So Augusto Fernandez has come out and said, well, I am staying. I've got a contract, and I've been told I'm staying. Paulo Espargaro is saying, well, I've got a contract, and I will be staying in 6th place at the Red Bull Ring in the sprint race. Paulo Espargaro still showing he's got some worth there. But, do you go for youth or do you go for Paulo Espargaro? Damaged goods in some ways, but you've got that wealth of experience as well. So it looks like Pedro Acosta will be coming in alongside Augusto Fernandez, and Paulo Espargaro will be doing 2, 3, 4 potentially wildcard rides, but very much a gas KTM test rider there. So we're going to have to wait and see how that all plays out. But Pedro Acosta will be in MotoGP. Will it be on a KTM or will it be on a Ducati? The Pramac Ducati rides there. Do they go for Pedro Acosta over Franco Morbidelli? I don't think so. All the signs are pointing to Pedro Acosta will be staying with the KTM factory, albeit in red colors in the gas color schemes. So let's wait and see what happens there. World Superbikes. Toprak, we know, has shifted to BMW. Great news there. I think it's fantastic. Nice little change up. He wasn't getting the offers he wanted in MotoGP, so needed to change it up. BMW, I think they've got a fantastic package there. They need a motivated, top-of-the-world rider as Toprak Razgatlioglu to help break the bank there. Scott Redding, not motivated enough, mentally not strong enough. Michael van der Mark just can't stay injury-free. Garrett Gerloff just not quite there with BMW, and Loris Baz, kind of run his course a little bit maybe in World Superbikes. So Toprak, a great signing there. Andrea Iannone, exciting news, just to add some even more flavor to the World Superbike paddock. Andrea Iannone looks like he's going to be joining the Go 11 team, taking the place of Philip Ertl there. So please, I would love to see Iannone back in motorcycle racing and in World Superbikes. I think it'll be a great move there. So let's hope that happens. Sam Lowes is joining the World Superbike paddock. Mark VDS, the current Moto2 team, will be featuring one Ducati World Superbike in the class. Sam Lowes is their rider there. So the two Lowes brothers going at it in World Superbikes. And I think it's another great addition and a little bit more flavor into World Superbikes. That World Superbike dish, other than Alvaro Bautista, that guy completely destroying everyone at the moment. But that dish is really starting to spice up. Can't wait to see what's going to happen with the season next year. But big news in the World Superbike paddock is that of Johnny Ray. Now, it looks like Kawasaki was done. He was going to move to Ducati. That didn't work out, blah, blah. These were all just rumors. But a big rumor, and it's a serious rumor, and it looks like it could potentially happen. And I hope it does. Johnny Ray to Pata Yamaha. So we know Toprak Razgatlioglu has left Yamaha. Johnny Ray to potentially fill that spot. Now, I hope this happens. Johnny Ray is coming towards the end of his career. He's done everything he can possibly do for Kawasaki. There's no development coming from Kawasaki. Johnny Ray, make that move. Go to Yamaha and give it a try. Yes, I know there's not much development coming from Yamaha either, but the base is a better package. So please, Johnny Ray, make the move to Yamaha. That'll just make things even more exciting. Who will take Johnny Ray's spot at Kawasaki if that does happen? Scott Redding is being rumored there. If you gave up the Ducati, you're kind of making the BMW work now and then. When you're mentally in the right space, you're going to climb on that Kawasaki, and I think Johnny Ray overrides the Kawasaki. Is Scott Redding going to do that? But what other kind of choices do they have? Canon Chu coming from Supersport, I think would be a good option. Hopefully turns into a Toprak. I don't think he's got the same mental capacity or the strong mentality as Toprak. But anyway, that is the rumors going around in the World Superbike paddock with regards to Johnny Ray, Yamaha, Kawasaki, and Scott Redding. Because Scott Redding, last race meeting, said, well, I'll tell you my future looks like I'm staying with BMW. And we were all expecting him to be announced as a Bonovo BMW rider alongside Garrett Gerloff, or potentially Toprak, his teammate, and Michael van der Mark making way. But that's come to a halt because of these latest rumors of Johnny Ray potentially leaving Kawasaki and going to Yamaha. Axel Bassani is another big rider in World Superbike. What's he going to do? We know Rinaldi's kind of time with Factory Ducati is up, and I agree. I don't think he's earned that spot. I think he'll do well in a kind of Bassani kind of more satellite focused team. He's one of those riders that needs a cuddle. The factory team maybe just a little bit too much for him mentally and a little bit too much for him to take in. Bassani, will he fit in there? He's got a very cutthroat kind of nature, like tells it as it is, and that will it fit in that environment? I don't know. If that doesn't happen, Could he be the rider that goes to factory Kawasaki in place of Johnny Ray? Could very well be. There's also talk of him potentially going to the Honda World Superbike project. God knows they need something, because at the moment Lecuona and Vieja, just they can't get it going, that Honda World Superbike project. Vieja now and then, it looks like the most consistent out of the two riders. Lecuona, we know he's paced there, but got a crash in him. Both have got a crash in them. So, but Bassani, could he be on a factory team? Will he give up a privateer Ducati that he's finishing top 5 more often than not for a factory Kawasaki or Honda ride that, potentially won't finish inside that top 5? These are all the kind of things that he's going to have to weigh up. So that is where it is. Nicholas Bulliger coming from World Supersport 600. We know the Supersport class has got a couple of really fast riders there. Where do they go? There's talk about DJ Antonio going from Gresini Ducati to Ducati World Superbike. There's a lot of things happening in the world of MotoGP and World Superbike. So that's a little brief update. I hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned to our Facebook page and our YouTube channel, and we'll try and keep you up to date as much as possible with all the musical chairs going on. Goodbye.